I do know that we did vote to have a strike against the video game industry because right now the contract's been up for almost a year, everybody. Almost a year they've been waiting to get a deal, and they keep pushing it and negotiating. And finally they asked for a strike authorization. And I'm like, how long does it have to take for this to actually go down? Apparently a year in the video game world. At least, of course, voiceover artists have been talking about the same thing we've been talking about the other stuff. You know, actual pay and AI taking over their jobs. It's a big deal for them too, just like for the theatrical contract. So hopefully they can work this out. But the vote came through and 98.3% said, yes, let's strike. Now, of course, it's only like, you know, there's 34,000 people that voted out of, you know, over 100,000 membership. Only like 25% of the membership actually voted again because nobody votes. And everybody complains. So like, voting out there and vote. Do something about it. Help. Of course, everybody's still saying, let's do this, but come on, let's vote. And Fran Drescher said, I remain hopeful that we'll be able to reach an agreement that meets members' needs, but our members are being exploited and these corporations have to pay. So there's Fran Drescher standing up for us again. Are we surprised about this? I mean, in lieu of all the other strikes, like Sabrina, are you surprised they didn't strike earlier? Because everyone's already got their strike happy right now. Why did they wait until after these deals are going down to finally have a strike against the big top 10 video game industry members? What do you think about this?
That's a good question. It does seem odd. I don't know why, with all the solidarity, we wouldn't just kind of jump in there and do it at the same time. Yep, about to answer Colossus Rex. The strike is over for the writers, not for the actors. SAG is still currently striking. We haven't sat down to negotiations again yet. So the writers can go back to work. So late night television will start up again. Like there'll be things that can still happen, but not, you know, nothing that's going to include SAG-AFTRA actors. So we're still kind of in the midst of it. But, you know, people think that, you know, it'll be a roll downhill type of situation. So hopefully they'll do, you know, a week of solid negotiations with SAG and be able to get it together. However, you know, the SAG's issues are a little bit more intense than the writers with AI and things like that. So I don't know. It's hopefully I'm hoping that we'll be working in the new year, honestly.
Yeah, and as we said before, like of course it's ratified to the point where
also hi Milton Bradley, thanks for coming back.
Welcome back to Cruise Control. Thanks for being here. Yeah, well, you said before, it's like the writer's strike went through. They got the deal. The board got it. The board passed on the membership. Now, I think in a week or so, they're actually going to vote and ratify it completely. But they had a clause in there saying they could go back to work and start actually moving forward because they know they're going to ratify it. People are going to vote for this, I believe. But what do you think about this, David? Do you think that this is surprising you that they're just doing this now? Or do you think that the SAG-AFTRA should have done this earlier and actually said, let's just strike while the iron's hot with the first strike?
Well, I mean, look, I've said this before to many of my colleagues and friends, and now to you, the web. You know, the reality is it's all about negotiations, and negotiating is a tough game. And the MPTP has the Dragon Lady, Carol Lombardi. That's the bottom line. I've actually sat in the room with her. I've been through negotiations before. I've been a member of IATSE for 35 years and a member of SAG since 1985. I've been down this road a lot. And I will tell you that she didn't prepare on the level that I think she's used to. I think she had this all figured out. And then the AI element came up, and I don't think she fully understood it. She's, you know, the kind of person who is really good at negotiations, really good at law, but probably can't set the clock on the VCR back in her day. So, you know, anything else that's modern. And I think AI is a subject that just kind of maybe she didn't understand to its degree that it needs to be understood. And so this is a caveat. And I think smartly to Fran Drescher, you know, and membership and leadership in Screen Actors Guild, for sure, they're using it as the leg to stand on. Because honestly, up against Carol Lombardi and the MPTP, there's not much you can do. We all have to work. The industry is not going to come to a screeching halt over nothing. But this is something. And it's something for reasons that actually none of us can comprehend. Really, you could even be an expert in AI. And the reason is because the world is the oyster for AI, and we don't know. So how do you put guardrails up against something that we don't truly understand? And that's where we're going to have, you know, it's a fart in church right now, man. I don't know how it's going to go.
It could go any way. You're right. And yeah, like Milton was talking about too. It's like the thing is about these strikes, Goldy. I get it. It's just like the territory of AI is so we're not really sure what's going to happen with it. We're not sure how it'll develop. 3 years from now, it could be a crazy or different thing. And that's why some of the standards they have in this WGA contract are great. And I can't wait to talk about that tonight. But yeah, I mean, it's just wild right now. This is a weird time in the industry. Mike, what do you think about this? Do you think that the voice actors should have to be striking right now? now for video games, or do you think that this is something that they shouldn't do because people are ready to get back to work right now?
I don't know. They're just piggybacking off the existing headlines. If that grants them more eyeballs than they may have had otherwise, then go for it. I know that the amputee likes to they try to hold out as long as they can. I think you guys have much more salient views on this than I could possibly have. I got nothing for you on this.
Goldie kind of just wiped the floor with everybody. That's where we're good. We've got all the knowledge that we could have.
Close up, for fuck's sake. I got something else. So,
okay, here we go. Go to you.
There is something else, though, that I failed to mention, which is really important for everyone to understand out there. And that is, for the Writers Guild, the AI issue is really simple to solve, right? You can't give credit away to inanimate objects. So it's pretty easy to come up with a contract and address AI. AI, for whatever it's worth, cannot replace the author. Even if it's authored by AI. Pretty easy to say, hey, if you want IBM to write the script, that's fine. But, Steve Schultz's name's going to go on it, right? And that's okay because Steve's going to get the money, not IBM. So that's easy. But with AI for actors, it's completely different. And a human being's likeness and the sound of their voice, etc., that is a motherfucker for them to tackle. And that's the leg that's being stood upon. My personal opinion is that it's a strong leg. It's going to get broken because, unfortunately, it's not something that anyone can truly understand. I think some guardrails will be put into place that will do something. Really, we need to get back to work. We need to get back to work as an industry. We need to get back to work as a country. We need to get back to work for the country because we are in that weird place where we make a vaccine, so to speak. What we do is something that the people thrive from, And I remember being on set one night, 3:00 in the morning in the rain, and I was listening to people complain about this work and, oh, my God, it's not like we're curing cancer. And I have to say we're not, and the film industry never has. But I know people who have suffered from that insidious misery, and having a TV on in the background sometimes can get you through a whole bunch of bullshit. So we don't cure disease, but we're right there along for the ride. And what we do is important, and it speaks volumes about who we are as a people. And we've got to get back to work, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well said, Goldy.
Hell yeah, Goldie. And that's why
I just would like to raise one quick point that I did mention that SAG had more pressing issues with AI. So I set you off on that foot, bud.
Oh, you tweet it up, baby. You tweet it up.
And as Milton's saying in the chat, though, too, like most AI generated people look really bad and stuff, but they have been doing that too. It worked on WandaVision. On WandaVision, they scan everybody. There was never background on set one time, and they just put them in later. So Marvel's been doing that for a while. And so sometimes
I couldn't tell that. I couldn't tell that. I had no idea.
Yep. As long as you get paid.
They're like, I guess I don't pay attention that much. Like I've never been like, those are fake people. Like I've been like, that's a fake set, or like out that window is definitely not New York City. You know what I mean? But I've never like noticed fake people. I didn't even really know it was a thing.
I have. I mean,
crazy.
There's a lot of. I mean,
you're getting all the praise in the chats.
Yeah,
all the praise.
Thanks, Ryan.
All right.
You're not the only one who's not paying attention, Sabrina. I referred to the AMPTP as the amputee a moment ago. Nothing. Just crickets in the chat.
I almost said it, but I let you slide. I let you slide.